Brenda pointed at my small farm store and shouted, "This is illegal. I already reported you. They're coming to shut you down today." I didn't answer right away. I just kept placing eggs into the carton like nothing was happening. People had already stopped their cars on the side of the road, watching. Brenda stood there in her perfect clothes, phone in hand, acting like she owned the whole street. "This is a residential zone," she said louder, making sure everyone heard her. "You can't sell anything here. You're breaking the law." I looked at her and said calmly, "Ma'am, this land has been in my family longer than this road." She laughed, actually laughed. "That doesn't matter. Rules changed, and people like you don't get special treatment." That line hit. People like you. She didn't even try to hide it. My son Leo was inside the small wooden stand, holding the cash box. He whispered, "Dad, are we in trouble?" I smiled at him. "No, we're not." But then 2 county trucks pulled up. Brenda smirked instantly. "See, I told you, it's over." 2 officers stepped out with clipboards. One of them looked serious, the other looked tired, like he'd seen this kind of drama before. The serious one, Officer Davis, walked straight to me. "Sir, we received a complaint about illegal commercial activity on residential property." Before I could answer, Brenda jumped in. "Not just that. He's been doing this for weeks, selling without permits, blocking traffic, probably not even paying taxes." Officer Davis nodded slowly, then looked back at me. "We need to check your permit." I wiped my hands and reached into my pockets, but I didn't hand him anything yet. Instead, I said, "Can I ask who made the complaint? It's already in the report." Brenda stepped closer, proud. "I did, because someone has to follow the law around here." I looked at her, then at the officer, then back at my small stand with fresh eggs, honey jars, and a handwritten sign Leo made. "I understand," I said quietly. "But before you shut anything down, maybe you should wait 5 minutes." Officer Davis frowned. "Why?" I gave a small smile. "Because someone else is already on the way." Brenda rolled her eyes. "Oh, please, who? Your lawyer?" "This isn't a movie." I didn't respond. I just leaned against the table and waited. A black SUV turned onto the road, slow, steady, and stopped right in front of the stand. Brenda crossed her arms. "This should be good." The driver stepped out, looked around, then walked straight toward us. And the officer who was holding the clipboard suddenly stood up straighter. Brenda didn't notice yet, but something had already changed. The man didn't rush. He walked like he had all the time in the world. He picked up one of the egg cartons, opened it, checked it carefully, then smiled a little. "These fresh today?" he asked. I nodded. "This morning?" He took out his wallet. "I'll take 2 dozen. Brenda let out a sharp laugh. "Are you serious right now? This place is about to be shut down, and you're shopping." The man looked at her, calm, almost confused. "Shut down? Why?" She stepped forward, pointing at me again. "Because he's running an illegal business in Lancaster. I reported it myself. The county is already here." There was a short silence. Then the man slowly turned his head toward the officers. "Is that true?" asked. Officer Davis hesitated for a second. "We received a complaint, sir. We're verifying zoning and permit compliance." The man nodded, then reached into his pocket and pulled out an ID. He didn't flash it dramatically. He just held it where the officer could see. Everything changed in 1 second. Officer Davis's posture snapped straight. "Sir, I didn't know you were coming." Brenda blinked. "Wait, what is this?" The man turned back to her, still holding the eggs like nothing happened. "I'm Mr. Harrison, the zoning board chairman for this county." Her smile dropped. "No, that's not possible," she said quickly. "I would know that." Mr. Harrison raised an eyebrow slightly. "Would you?" The second officer looked down, almost hiding a smile. Brenda stepped closer, trying to recover. "Well then, good. You're exactly who we need. This man is breaking the rules, and Mr. Harrison gently cut her off. Actually, I'm here because of this property. Now it was my turn to stay quiet. Brenda frowned. Exactly. So you already know. He shook his head. Yes, I know this land. He looked at me and gave a small nod, like we already understood each other. I signed the agricultural exemption for this property myself, he said. Silence. Brenda's face froze. That doesn't make sense. This is a residential area. It used to be, he replied calmly. This plot was reclassified last year under a small farm and roadside produce allowance. She stepped back. No one told us that. He shrugged lightly. That sounds like an HOA problem, not a county one. That line hit hard. The officer slowly closed his clipboard. So, there's no violation here. Mr. Harrison looked at my stand again, then at the road, then back at Officer Davis. From what I see, he's fully within his rights. Brenda's voice cracked a little now. But he's causing disruption. Cars are stopping. It's unsafe. Mr. Harrison glanced at the parked cars, people quietly watching everything unfold. Then he said, "Funny. I drove here because someone told me this was the best place to buy fresh eggs." A few people chuckled. Brenda's hands tightened. This isn't over. I finally spoke again. I never said it was. She looked at me like she wanted to say something worse. But nothing came out. Mr. Harrison handed me cash. Keep the change. Then he added quietly, just for me. You handled that well. But as he turned to leave, he stopped for a second. He looked back at the officers, then at Brenda. By the way, who authorized the warning notice placed on his property yesterday? Brenda's eyes widened. I did, she said. But now her voice wasn't strong anymore. Mr. Harrison's expression changed just a little. Interesting, he said, because no official notice was issued from our office. The air got heavy. One of the officers slowly looked at her. Ma'am, did you file any paperwork before posting that notice? She didn't answer. And that's when things started turning in a way she definitely didn't expect. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. For the first time, she had nothing ready to say. I was just trying to help the neighborhood, she finally muttered. But even she didn't believe it anymore. Officer Davis stepped a little closer. Ma'am, placing an official-looking notice without authorization can be considered impersonation. Her head snapped up. Impersonation? That's ridiculous. I'm part of the HOA. Mr. Harrison didn't raise his voice. The HOA doesn't have the authority to issue county enforcement notices, not even close. That line landed hard. People standing near their cars started whispering. Someone even pulled out their phone and began recording. Brenda noticed, and panic slipped through her control for a second. This is being blown out of proportion. I leaned against the table again, calm. You said I didn't belong here, remember? She didn't look at me. The second officer spoke this time, more firm. We'll need you to come with us to clarify a few things. Her eyes widened. You're arresting me? For a notice? No one said arrest yet, he replied. But this is serious, Mr. Harrison added quietly, especially when false reports are involved. That was the second hit. Brenda turned toward him quickly. False. Everything I said is true. He's been selling here for weeks. I nodded. Yes, legally. She pointed at me again, but her hand was shaking now. This isn't over. The HOA will fine you. We have rules. I smiled just a little. You might want to read them again. Mr. Harrison looked at her, steady. I suggest you do. There was a long pause, the kind that feels heavy in your chest. Then Officer Davis gestured toward the truck. Ma'am? She looked around, at the people watching, at the phones recording, at the same place she thought she controlled just minutes ago. No one was on her side now. She lowered her hand slowly and walked toward the truck without another word. And just like that, it flipped. The same place she tried to shut down became the place she got exposed. Mr. Harrison picked up his eggs again like nothing dramatic had happened. You open every day. Sunrise to noon. Good, he said. I'll be back. He got into his SUV and drove off. The officers followed, taking Brenda with them. The road slowly came back to life. Cars moved. People stepped closer. One man smiled and said, "You got any more of those eggs?" I laughed softly. "Plenty." Leo came running out, eyes wide. "Dad, what just happened?" I put a hand on his shoulder. Nothing special. Then I looked at the stand. Still standing. Still ours. They just picked the wrong place and the wrong person. And that was it. No shouting, no revenge, just truth. Showing up at the right time here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.